I've been receiving this question quite a bit regarding vitamin C. What kind of vitamin C do you recommend? What's the best kind? So to start off, let me just say that there are many different kinds of vitamin C. I'm going to share with you guys some of the most popular kinds that I like to store to keep in stock in my home. They all work in different ways, and they are suited to different situations and circumstances and different conditions that people may have. So let's start with ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is the one that most of you are familiar with. You find it in different foods. It's the cheapest kind that you can find, and you can find it at basically every health food store and even the drugstore. Now, ascorbic acid is an acid, as it says in the name, ascorbic acid, and if you have ulcers, it's not recommended because the acid is going to irritate your ulcers. If you have esophageal cancer, if you have acid reflux, which is burning your throat, any kind of irritation, ascorbic acid is not ideal for you because it's going to worsen the situation. Because ascorbic acid is water soluble, you also have to be careful to space out your doses throughout the day. If the recommended daily allowance, the proper daily dosage is 6,000 milligrams a day, you don't want to take it all at once because you're going to pee it all out. So you want to space it out, for example, 2,000 milligrams at every meal. And that way you're going to get your 6,000 milligrams. Obviously, if you have chronic disease, you want to take more than that. Another function of ascorbic acid, a lot of people use ascorbic acid to flush their small intestine. The parasites and the fungus, they don't like a highly acidic environment. In fact, they manipulate your body to produce less hydrochloric acid in your stomach so that they can thrive in a more alkaline environment in your small intestine. So you can do a vitamin C flush, which basically consists of taking high doses of vitamin C powder to bowel tolerance, and then you're going to experience basically diarrhea. You can do this for a few days in a row, and you're going to see a lot of parasites coming out. Another form of vitamin C is sodium ascorbate, which I like to always keep in stock because it is a non-acidic form of vitamin C. Also, it's appropriate for anybody dealing with low blood pressure, anybody who has a history of low blood pressure. I used to have a low blood pressure, so I like to keep this in stock because if you're taking any herbs or foods which lower your blood pressure, such as lemon, such as garlic, sometimes I like to do a garlic cleanse, then these lower your blood pressure. And then you can keep that in mind. You can be like, oh, if I'm using these blood pressure lowering foods and herbs, I should probably take this kind of vitamin C, sodium ascorbate, which raises my blood pressure, because obviously, as many of you know, sodium raises the blood pressure. But another thing about sodium ascorbate is that it has an affinity for the gut, for purifying and detoxifying all of the toxins in the gut. And you will notice that once you start taking high doses of sodium ascorbate, you're going to feel a lot of rumble in your intestines, and that's the sodium ascorbate cleansing it. So I like to keep this kind in stock because of my history of low blood pressure. One of the most powerful kinds of vitamin C is liposomal vitamin C, also known as lipospheric vitamin C. Why is it so powerful? Because the vitamin C is contained within nanoparticles of fat. And because of this, the vitamin C can get to places in the body where sodium ascorbate, ascorbic acid, and even vitamin C from foods can never get to. Because again, these sodium ascorbate and vitamin C and ascorbic acid, they are water soluble. They will get to places where your blood can get to, but nothing beyond that. When you use liposomal vitamin C, nanoparticles of vitamin C, it will get to your prostate. If you're dealing with prostate issues, prostate cancer, it'll get to your breast if you're dealing with breast cancer. It'll get to your brain. It can pass the blood-brain barrier. Basically, it can get to places where the blood cannot get to, cannot reach to. It can go beyond the blood. So what I like to do, if you're dealing with any chronic disease, if you're dealing with cancer, liposomal is definitely the way to go. In fact, what I like to do is combine both water-soluble forms of vitamin C, high dose, and liposomal vitamin C. Another kind of vitamin C I like to keep on hand is time-release vitamin C. Time-release vitamin C. The capsules are created, the tablets are created in a way with certain kinds of coating, which gradually allows for the digestion of the capsule so that the vitamin C gradually is released in your body. Why do I love this? Because we need vitamin C at all times. We need vitamin C at all times. And by taking, let's say, 2 capsules or 3 in the morning of this time release capsule, the vitamin C is gradually being released through your body. And then you can add to that some high dosage, here and there of vitamin C. But I'm a huge fan of time release, especially for those of you who don't want to be constantly shoveling down capsules at work in front of your coworkers, looking like some sort of a drug addict. So vitamin C time release capsules is something I highly recommend that you have in stock in your home pharmacy. Again, because vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is water soluble. If you have a lot of it at once, you're just going to pee it out. But with time release, it's going to gradually release the dosage throughout the day into your body as needed. Over the years, many of my patients have asked me if natural sources of vitamin C isn't the way to go. Isn't that the best way to go? Natural sources of vitamin C from berries, from fruits, from these natural vitamin C concoctions which contain acai berries, camu berries, etc. My answer to this is that's wonderful. If you can include natural sources, great. But the main issue with this is it's very difficult to get the proper dosage, the daily recommended allowance, 6,000 milligrams and more if you're chronically ill, from natural sources, because you would have to finish an entire bottle of camu berries supplements in like 3 days, right? In 2 days. Who can afford that? Most people can't. And to try and get it from berries and fruits, that's also very difficult. You'd have to eat berries all day, every day. And again, most of our fruits and berries, even if you're getting organic, don't contain much of the nutrients that it once used to. So long story short, it's wonderful if you can include natural sources. I do. I eat berries almost every day and a handful of organic fruits. But you gotta use all these other forms, liposomal, sodium ascorbate. Again, they all work in different beneficial ways, and you got nothing to lose by providing your body with copious amounts of vitamin C. Again, we live in such a toxic world, constantly depleting us of antioxidants, not only from the outside, but from within. People are dealing with chronic infections in the gut, in the body, which are producing mycotoxins 24/7, causing you to be deficient in vitamin C. You got nothing to lose by loading up your body with vitamin C. Now, there are special situations, rare situations, where it wouldn't be advisable to load up on high doses of vitamin C. For example, if you're dealing with iron toxicity, because vitamin C is a synergist with iron. If you're low in iron, if you're anemic, then vitamin C will help raise your iron levels. But if you're iron toxic, you want to be careful with loading up on vitamin C. You don't want to avoid vitamin C because, look, we need vitamin C. You need vitamin C. But you need to treat your iron toxicity. You need to lower your iron toxicity first, and then you can start taking mega doses of vitamin C.